That to me is ultimate freedom, that's success. How many of you are willing to play with that as the definition, at least for this weekend? Say aye. All those opposed, motion's carried.
Have you ever thought about why we bother improving ourselves? What the purpose of personal development and self-help and trying to become a better person actually is? This is something I've been thinking a lot about lately as I've got to my mid-40s. I've spent a lot of my life trying to become a better version of myself, setting goals, making plans, reading a lot of self-help books, listening to a lot of audio programs to try and become a better person. And in a lot of respects, I have succeeded at that. I'm quite proud of the person I am today as a result. But there are times, like right now, where I kind of question it. I think, am I actually just wasting my time trying to be someone who I'm actually not? Or am I just doing this to try and prove something to myself or to the world that doesn't need to be proved? You know, self-improvement is a concept that's been around for probably a couple of 100 years now. Even before that, it was probably part of ancient philosophy where we always tried to have the most virtuous version of ourselves show up in the world. We wanted to somehow show the best of ourselves to the world. That has culminated today in all of us being very obsessed with status, success, achievement, and recognition. And in a lot of respects, that has given birth to the self-help industry, the gurus, the books, the seminars, all the different things that we all have attended or have read or consumed. And I'm not sure if it's actually making us any better as people or it's making us more fulfilled. One of the things that I realized lately that I tend to do, and maybe you do this as well, is that I create what I call an idealized self. There's a version of myself that I kind of imagine out there who's in perfect health, who has all the money I can possibly spend, who has amazing relationships with every human who I've ever come in contact with. It's the version of me that's more popular, more successful, respected, etc., etc. That idealized self is never going to exist. There's always going to be flaws in who I am as a person, in the way I live my life. I'm never going to live up to this perfect ideal, and you're never going to live up to your idealized self either. It's just reality. We are human beings, we make mistakes, we live in a way that causes us to be lazy or expedient or just to not make the best decision for ourselves. And so even though we have this ideal version of ourselves, we never actually get there. And this is probably the thing that drives us towards self-improvement, is this vision that somehow if we just keep improving, we just get closer to that idealized person, we're going to become happy and fulfilled forever. The truth is that the things that you dreamed about 5 years ago that have come true, now they're just part of your life. You take them for granted and they're not as amazing as you dreamed they would be. The things that you haven't achieved yet that you hope to achieve one day in the future, I think they're just going to be the same. Even when you achieve the big goals that you have right now, you're probably going to feel about the same level of satisfaction and enjoyment and fulfillment that you do right now. That's because there's always a new version of your idealized self that you can't reach. It's impossible. And that desire to always become a new version of yourself eventually starts to have diminishing returns, I think. There has to come a point in your life where you realize that who you are and what you have and the life that you live right now is enough and that you are worthwhile exactly as you are. Whew, that was a lot. But I needed to get that out because I think there is that reality that we have to look at when we're examining our reasons for self-improvement. We have to really think about what it is that's underneath our desire for self-improvement, and we have to acknowledge that. One of the things that I have learned to do over the past couple of years is think about my life on a bit of a spectrum. Rather than be an extreme person, I try to think of things on a continuum or a spectrum. And one way to do that when it comes to self-improvement is to really think about your life in terms of being satisfied or dissatisfied. And in some respects, you're going to be very satisfied with who you are, the things you have, the way you live your life. In other things, you're probably going to be dissatisfied, not happy with them. What I have learned is if you use this spectrum of satisfied to dissatisfied, it helps you to really clarify what it is that's most important to you, what you have, and what you need to keep working on. It makes you more grateful for how far you've come, and it removes that risk of feeling like you have to constantly keep self-improving. So I started this video by ranting about why should we even bother with self-improvement, and it's pretty obvious that I believe it's a good thing. In past videos, I've talked a lot about self-actualization and becoming the best version of yourself, and I still stand by that. I still think overall it is better to focus focus on improving yourself, trying to become a better version of yourself, than it is just to be lazy and to give up and to accept the status quo of your life. But there does come a point where you can go too far with it, and only you know where that is. If you got too much focus on what everyone else has achieved, on the life that everyone else is living, and you're trying to live up to those ideals, or even a version of your life that you've idealized, your idealized self, that's going to make you unhappy, and that's going to make you keep forcing yourself to seek self-improvement and personal development when maybe you don't need it as much as you do. So anyway, I know this is a bit of a different video than what I normally create, but I wanted to share it because it's something that's been on my mind a lot the last couple of months. I wanted to position this as a balanced view of self-improvement and personal development. It is a very valuable thing if it's taken the right way. A lot of what I talk about on this channel is centered around becoming the best person you can, but I also wanted to explore the danger of only doing self-improvement for self-improvement's sake. Wherever you are in your life right now, I guarantee there are things that are very satisfying, that are worth celebrating, that you should be grateful for. And there are areas where you need to keep improving. Embrace what you have, embrace what you are, recognize that, value that, and then choose a couple of things to keep improving gradually and consistently over time. Hopefully these ideas are useful for you. My name is Daniel Midson-Short. If you watched this far in the video, I appreciate you being part of this channel. Leave a like, leave a comment below, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. And as I always say, if you want to, thank you for improving yourself.